He looked exhausted, stood up for a round of applause, and he spoke with great confidence about the mission to make America safe again. Listen to this.
We're taking public safety threats and national security threats up the street every single day. But we got over 600,000 illegal aliens with criminal histories walking the streets of this country. We got less than 5,000 deportation officers. This should be a no-brainer. More agents mean more bad guys arrested, taken off the streets of this country every single day. Every day we arrest a public safety threat or national security threat, this country much safer.
Well, our guest tonight is a veteran of border issues. You've seen him here before. Ron Vitiello joined the Border Patrol in 1985, and now with more than 30 years of public service under his belt, he's the senior advisor to U.S. Customs and Border Protection. Welcome back, Ron.
Thanks for inviting me.
You ran the Border Patrol long before Joe Biden and Kamala Harris opened the gates. It must have been a huge disappointment to see so much of the good work of you and your colleagues ruined by a White House that didn't care about crippling our country.
Yeah, it was terrible to see what they got left to, right? When Trump won, we had the safest border until now than the country had ever seen. And then within weeks of the Biden presidency, it turned into complete chaos and stayed that way for most of his 4 years. And so it is I'm very grateful to be a part of the team now that's helping repair the damage that's been made, because there is a lot to do. We've done really well at the physical border. We've all seen the deportation efforts underway in the interior, and CBP is assisting with that as well. There is a lot to do, but we've been very successful to date because you have good leadership in the Oval Office, obviously, with President Trump. Kristi Noem is the Secretary of Homeland Security. And Tom Homan helping lead the charge in the interagency along with Stephen Miller. And it's just been wonderful to see how quickly we can accomplish things when everyone is moving in the same direction, as you said, on behalf of making America safe again.
Well, there is some good news to report today. The big, beautiful budget bill has finally made it to approval before the July 4th holiday. And it contains a good deal more money for the Border Patrol. Can you tell us what the most immediate needs are?
Well, there's going to be an effort at CBP, both on the customs mission side, immigration side, and in the border security side for hiring. So thousands of new CBP officers and Border Patrol agents, more barrier access and technology to help the agents do their jobs more appropriately, safer on the southwest border. Some investments also on the northern border with our friends in Canada. So, immediate increases in capability, including infrastructure. The wall is very effective. It provides an anchor for the men and women to do the patrols and surveil the border, but quite expensive, especially when you add the technology on top of it. So we're very eager that Congress has prevailed to get this thing over the finish line. We understand the president's going to sign it, and we're going to implement based on the attributes of his campaign, which are now the plans that are underway at our border and in the interior as it relates to making the border safe and then having the deportation efforts in the interior. I worked in the interior for a very short time as an agent in the patrol, and we made lots of arrests because there are a lot of people in big cities where we worked making arrests in those locations. It was very active. But back in those days, when you sent somebody back across the border, they could come back relatively easily. That's not the case now. Now it's very difficult to cross the border. Those that are apprehended are likely to be prosecuted in federal court and are all being removed fairly quickly. So the traffic is down for a lot of reasons, the physical presence at the border and the increased capability, but the consequences are also very high.
Well, recently there were reports of the arrest of about a dozen Iranians in this country, right after the U.S. attack on Iran's nuclear facilities. One of those arrested admitted to being a member of the Hezbollah terror group. I'm guessing that there's no way to know, but do you have any idea how big a threat we face from other terrorists that are already here?
Well, this is a constant threat that the American public needs to be aware of. We had a 4-year presidency where almost anybody that had enough energy to make it to the southwest border could walk into the country. Many of them were released in the United States. Since the attack on Iran, since the hostilities started with Iran, we've caught over 100 people from that part of the world. During the 4 years of the Biden administration, 1,500 plus individuals came into the country and were apprehended and self-admitted that they were from that part of the world. More than half of them were released into the United States. And so that threat exists. They're at the top of the list for the deportation efforts across the country. And so continue to look for those threats to public safety that are also in the country illegally. We're going to seek them out and take them into custody as we have been doing.
Well, despite the well-known threats, some big city mayors have been fighting the deportations, and they come right out and brag about it. Listen to the Los Angeles mayor.
I was trying to make the case that the National Guard was not needed here. I was trying to make the case that if the National Guard came here, it would be a provocative move, and it would be like a deliberate attempt to create disorder and chaos in our city.
Los Angeles was already suffering from chaos and destruction. Do you have any idea what she's talking about?
It's fairly ridiculous to hear someone who's responsible for the safety and security of the city of Los Angeles talking about how well-trained, dedicated soldiers of the National Guard somehow promote chaos in the second largest city in the United States. It's ridiculous. What she needs to understand is that what those guardsmen are doing is protecting the federal space, the federal buildings in Los Angeles, which she should be protecting alongside them with. And the men and women of the front line who are in Los Angeles to execute on the largest deportation effort ever. Again, that is current immigration law. If you're in the country uninvited, uninspected, and have crossed the border illegally, you're subject to being arrested and removed from the United States. That's all the front line is doing down there. People want to call this some kind of hyperbole. It's designed to sow chaos or hate. No, this is the enforcement of the law. These laws have been on the books for decades. And people like her that want to tear down the individuals who are actually helping keep the city safe need to look in the mirror and find out what exactly they're trying to do for this country and their cities themselves.
Ron, please stay for another segment. I've got several more questions for you. And during the break, I'd like to ask you to plug into our new website, ajnow.com. Take a look. If you want to send your thoughts about the immigration mess, there's an easy link to send an email. We'll have Mr. Vitiello back again, and we can pose your questions to him. I'll be right back.
Turning to physical gold and silver for added financial security. I've discovered that you can place gold and silver in your IRA, 401k, or other qualified retirement account, completely tax and penalty free. Preserve Gold is the company that I trust, and they're giving away a free wealth protection guide to TBN viewers that explains everything. So give them a call right now.
We're back now with the senior advisor to the U.S. Customs and Border Protection, Ron Vitiello. It's the largest law enforcement agency within the Department of Homeland Security. I know President Trump wants to round up as many people as possible each week, but is it true that for now authorities are starting with finding the most dangerous gang members and other criminals?
Absolutely. There's a priority list. We talked earlier about the folks that are here from Iran that we know are here illegally. And that were released at our border by the previous administration. So the focus has shifted in a way that they've moved up to the top of the list. But individuals that are in the country illegally have also committed heinous crimes all over the country. Los Angeles is just one of the cities in which this high-profile operation is underway. But it's also important to talk about the other people that are going to be found. ICE uses a prioritized list to find people in the United States. When they find them, they're often with other people who are out of status as well. And under this administration, like in Trump 1.0, they won't be exempt immigration enforcement. So if criminals are hiding amongst the populace or they're present in places where other people are in the country illegally, those other folks that are alongside them will be arrested. Well, and they'll be put in the system on a path to removal.
Well, the polling shows that even recent immigrants are backing the removal of those who are here illegally. I know you're a lot closer to this than I am, so tell us where that's coming from.
Well, people who come through the legal process, many of us in America have an immigration story. My dad's parents came here.
Other people aren't so anxious to do. Should we make exceptions for them? And if so, can they be tracked in a responsible way?
all of us have great compassion for people who've left what they used to call home to come to America to find their dreams. There is a right way and a wrong way to do it. And so those people that are here illegally that wish for an opportunity in the future can.
It's not cold plunging. We will send you to Cuba. You will lose 30 pounds in a month.
AOC could use that actually right now. AOC could potentially.
Shots fired. I'm not saying anything. But more effective than Ozempic. You see, capitalism, you tend to gain weight. We got nothing but food here. You then went to AOC's now origins. I think we have a piece of tape here, but you went to AOC's hometown. She's not a girl from the Bronx. Is that what we're finding out?
Oh no, she's a total fraud. Ever since she was an infant, before she could walk or talk, AOC has been raised in a leafy, clean, and beautiful suburb that is pristine and low on crime. That is one of those places that gets painted in American history by people like Norman Rockwell. It's a place called Yorktown Heights, the hamlet of Yorktown Heights. It's 120 minutes from downtown Manhattan. It's a far ways away from the hardscrabble, working class Bronx girl persona that AOC tries to project onto the world. We went and traveled there and exposed AOC for the fraud that she is. You know, a lot of people in MAGA hats, and there's actually a Trump sign right across from AOC's home that she was raised in, Charlie. And it's not that she would just like live there for a little bit. She went to preschool there. Then she went to elementary school, middle school, high school there, and then she graduated and went to Boston University. So she's a total and complete fraud. The working class Bronx girl is a liar.
Benny Johnson, tell our audience about where they can find you, where they can support you, and what is the best part of the golden age that you are experiencing right now that you want, that you think is not getting enough media attention?
Well, I think this is the given the past 24 hours, what I'd like to say on that is that we are the media now. And that shows like Charlie's and shows like mine, you can find me at Benny Johnson on all social media, and The Benny Show, that we are able to ask the questions that people actually care about. We were able to ask President Trump 4 questions. All 4 of them trended globally and worldwide and got major attention. And we were able to run circles around what is the corporate media. And that's because we answer to you, the American people. And it's our great honor to do that. It's a huge compliment to the team at the White House that allows for independent voices to access the president. And that's how you actually get the truth.
Benny, thank you so much. We'll see you soon. We'll see you at the Student Action Summit a week from Friday. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Charlie.